Okay, so let's see if you can figure out this basic math word problem. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and read the problem. It is as follows. How much will it cost to carpet this room? All right, I'll show you the room in just 1 second, but the carpet that we want to use to carpet this room cost $3.75. All right, let's go to take a look at the room. Here it is. So we have this shape, and you can see the respective dimensions. So I'm not going to give you any more details other than showing you the figure because I want to give you a full opportunity for you to figure this out. But the goal here is to calculate how much it's going to cost to carpet this room. All right, again, the carpet that we want to use costs $3.75. Feel free to use a calculator, but if you can figure this out, go ahead and put your answer into the comment section. I'll show you the correct answer in just 1 second, then of course we'll walk through exactly how to solve this problem step by step. But before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John, and I have been teaching middle and high school math for decades. And if you need help learning math, well, check out my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if this video helps you out, or if you just enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out. All right, so pretty direct question. We want to figure out how much it's going to cost to carpet this room. So we know that the carpet that we want to use costs $3.75. So how much is it going to cost to carpet this room? Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the answer. The correct answer is the following. $1,113.75. All right, now if you figure this out, well, that is fantastic. I got to give you a nice little happy face and A plus, a 100%, and multiple stars. So you can tell your friends and family that indeed you know how to calculate the area of irregular figures. And hopefully I didn't pronounce that too bad. But basically, this is a shape that's not like a standard shape. In other words, we don't have like a square or a rectangle or a circle. So we have some sort of shape here and we need to figure out how to find the area of this room because if we can get the area, well, then we could simply multiply it by the cost per square foot, and then of course we'll get the right answer. Now, if you're saying, hey, Mr. YouTube Math Man, I don't know the formula for this thing right here. Well, this is not that difficult. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get into the problem right now. Okay, so again, we don't have a formula for this shape, but maybe we can break this shape into other shapes, like two shapes. So how could we do this? Now, if you didn't think about this, let's start. This is a good time for you to kind of, ponder this question. So maybe we could do this. Maybe we can kind of split it this way. So here we have a triangle, and we definitely have a formula to calculate the area of a triangle. But is that going to help us out? Because over here, this is still kind of an oddball shape. So maybe that's not a good way to kind of split this, figure. But there is another way, a better way. Maybe we could split it this way. Okay, so here, what's this shape right here? Well, hopefully you can kind of see that this is a trapezoid, but then we're left with this kind of shape over here. And some of you might say, well, we can have multiple trapezoids, but we have to consider the dimensions that we have, right? So we know that this is 9 feet. We know that the span here is 17 feet and the span here is 15 feet. So if you can see, we know the difference between 17 and 15. In other words, we have this right here because this is what? Well, that's 2 feet right here. And hopefully most of you saw that. And most of you hopefully saw that you're saying, hey, Mr. YouTube Math Man, why don't you just make yourself a lovely trapezoid right here? And a trapezoid is a pretty standard figure, pretty standard shape, and hopefully most of you out there have experience in figuring out the area to a trapezoid. Of course, this requires a formula, but if we could figure out the area of this trapezoid, what do we have down here? Well, we have a lovely rectangle, and we know the dimensions of this rectangle. It's 15 by 18. So the key to doing this problem is kind of splitting this figure in the right way, and then of course, getting the right formulas to calculate the area. All right, so let's go and take a look at these formulas because I'm going to give you a chance to do this work. And then, of course, I'm going to do it. But I want to see if you can actually use these formulas. All right, so we'll start with the easy one here. So the area of a rectangle is equal to the length times the width. Most of you know this, but here is the area of a trapezoid. So let's say you had a formula sheet. You're like, all right, Mr. YouTube Math Man, just give me the formula, and then I'll, be able to calculate this out. Well, here it is. Here's the area of a trapezoid. Now, I'm not going to explain this, but hopefully I'm not going to explain it right now because I want to give you an opportunity to kind of, recollect, hey, what does this mean? Okay, area equals 1/2 h times a plus b. All right, so here is the problem again. Maybe you want to write these formulas down, and let's see if you can actually calculate the total area here. Okay, so I'm showing you the figure. I basically told you how to kind of set this up. So here is our trapezoid, all right? And again, I already kind of told you there's this missing dimension that we're going to need right here. But again, you should be able to figure out the area of this trapezoid and the area of this rectangle, add them together, and you'll have the total area. All right, so let's go ahead and do this right now, just in case you're having difficulty with the formula. Now, it doesn't make any good to have a formula if you don't know what the variables in the formula stand for. All right, so for this trapezoid, matter of fact, let's go back up here, take a look at the formula before we do these calculations. So in a trapezoid, right, there's all different, basically you have a four-sided polygon. This is a type of quadrilateral. I could do a little bit better than that. Let me kind of sketch it out this way. All right, so we have two sides right here, okay? Now, this side could be A, this side could be B, it doesn't make a difference. But the H is the height of the trapezoid, okay? So we're going to take 1/2, multiply it by the height of the trapezoid, and then we're going to multiply that times the sum of the two lengths. Okay, so that is how this formula works. Pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and actually do this right now. Okay, so, but before, let me kind of just go back a few steps here. Remember, we need the height of this trapezoid. Now, how do we figure that out? Well, if this is 17 feet and this is 15 feet, again, this is 17 feet, the difference there is 2, okay? So the height is, of course, we're talking about the perpendicular distance is going to be 2. All right, so the top of this trapezoid right here is 9. This leg right here is 18, and there is the height. So now let's go ahead and just plug all the numbers in. And of course, you can see our rectangle is a 15 by 18 rectangle right here. All right, so this basically comes down to a number crunching operation. And again, use a calculator to make your life easy. So 1/2 times the height, again, the height is 2. And then we're simply going to add up the two sides. That's 9 and 18. So 1/2 times 2 is 1. 9 plus 18 is 27. So the area of the trapezoid is 27, but 27 what? Remember, we are dealing with feet. So 27 feet squared. Okay, now you could write that square feet, okay, because the carpet has this notation square feet, but it means feet squared, same thing. All right, so that's the area of our trapezoid. Now, the area of the rectangle, super easy. It's 15 by 18. Let's go back over here. Again, 15 by 18, that's our rectangle. So we simply just multiply the length and width, and 15 times 18 is 270 feet squared or square feet. All right, so the total area is going to be our trapezoid, which is 27, plus our rectangle is 270. So the total area of this room is 297 square feet. All right, so hopefully the next step is super easy to figure out the cost of how much it's going to, the cost to carpet this room at the cost of, matter of fact, let's go way back to the beginning of this problem. Remember the carpet cost, I'm going really, really back here. The little detail that we need here, $3.75. All right, so most of you are saying, hey, Mr. YouTube Math Man, I'm going to leave your video right now because I know what you're going to do. Because what you're going to do is ask me to subscribe to your channel before we finish this problem up. And you would be correct. Don't you just like how I kind of sneak this in? You're saying hey, every single video, Mr. YouTube Math Man, you put that in there. Well, every single video I make, I'm trying to connect with someone that might be interested in this topic. So I definitely need your help. Okay, and the best way to support what I do is to simply hit that subscribe button. That really does help me connect with other people. Okay, now I'm grateful to have be connecting with you right now. Right, I understand everyone. Our time is valuable. Right, my time is valuable. Your time is valuable. So when I make a video, I try to make it worth your while. Okay, but I'm also trying to connect with people that are struggling in mathematics. That's what That's my passion, if you will. That's why I've been on YouTube for a long time. So the best way to kind of support not only me, but just to kind of help your fellow person that may be interested in math or struggling in math is to hit that subscribe button. And if you're going to do that, hit that notification bell as well so you can get my latest videos. All right, so this is pretty easy because to figure out how much it's going to cost to carpet this room, we need to first figure out the area of the room, the total area of the room. And we figured that out. That's 297 square feet. Now, if the carpet is $3.75 per square feet, well, how do we get the cost? We just multiply these two together. So the cost to carpet this room is going to be 297, which is the area, times the cost per square foot, which is 375, which gives us a grand total of $1,113.75. All right, now this is a good example of how math is extremely practical. Okay, one thing as a math teacher that you always hear, I probably heard this phrase maybe 100,000 times. Maybe that, maybe, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I've heard this, a lot. And that is, hey, Mr. YouTube Math Man, or hey, Mr. Math Teacher, why do I have to learn this stuff? I'm not going to do algebra in real life. I'm not going to do this stuff in real life. Well, yes, you're probably right. Okay, chances are pretty small that you're going to be solving quadratic equations, but you just never know. But here's the thing, learning math and even more sophisticated or complex math is an exercise in critical thinking. Okay, that's what it's about, problem solving. But I can assure you, all right, things like what we're talking about here, yeah, practical math, you will run into. And other concepts that are kind of come to mind when we're talking about practical math is like percent. Okay, percent, area problems, surface area problems. These are things that you want to know and you will use. Now, if you need help with this stuff or if you want to learn more math, well, I got a couple great courses that you could check out, full main courses. That's where my best instruction's at. So for this particular level of math, it's basically two courses you can check out. One, and I'm going to leave links to these in the description of this video. So the first is pre-algebra. Okay, and here I go through obviously algebra concepts and some basic math, but I also go through some basic geometry. Okay, kind of the stuff that we're talking about here. But I also have another great course for those of you that are not math students that maybe just want to rebuild your math skills. Well, the name of that course is called Math Skills Rebuilder. Now, I start with arithmetic, and then I get into algebra, geometry, even some trigonometry, and even some basic probability and statistics. So if you want to kind of learn more about what we're talking about in this video, and practical math concepts, these are some courses for you. Matter of fact, if you just want to learn basic math, check out my math foundations course. That's a quick little 3-chapter mini course that will give you a very good review of basic math skills. All right, so with all that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your math adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.